What if I told you the very first miracle Jesus performed did not happen in a temple, or in the middle of a storm, or during a desperate moment of life or death? No, it happened at a wedding, not a battlefield, not a mountaintop, not even a holy ceremony. A wedding, a place of joy, laughter, dancing, and celebration, where nobody expected heaven to step in. But heaven stepped in anyway. And what if I told you that this miracle wasn't just about wine, but about purpose, timing, identity, divine honor, and hidden glory? What if I told you that at that wedding, Jesus revealed a secret that no prophet ever carried? That he is not just a teacher, not just a healer, but the Lord of transformation, the one who turns water into wine, and sinners into saints, fear into faith, lack into abundance, ordinary moments into divine encounters. Welcome to Bible Breakdown, where we bring Bible stories to life through powerful cinematic storytelling, uncovering the mysteries hidden in every verse. Today, we step into the Marriage Feast of Cana, where Jesus performed his first miracle and set the stage for everything that would follow. The village of Cana buzzes with celebration. Families gather, musicians play. The bride glows with excitement. Tables overflow with food. The air smells of roasted lamb, fresh bread, and sweet fruit. Jesus arrives quietly, not as Messiah, not as a miracle worker, but as a guest, a young rabbi accompanied by his new disciples, men who barely know him yet. And among the guests is his mother, Mary, the woman who knew from the very beginning that this child carried heaven in his veins. But no one knew that on this ordinary day, an extraordinary moment was about to unfold. Then it happens. A problem, a mistake, a crisis big enough to bring shame to the entire family. They ran out of wine. In ancient Jewish weddings, running out of wine wasn't just embarrassing. It was a social catastrophe, a symbol of failure, a stain that could follow a family for years. Whispers spread like wildfire. Did they miscalculate? Did the groom fail to provide? Is this a bad sign for their future? Mary hears the panic. She sees the shame forming, and with a mother's intuition, she turns to the only one who can fix what humans cannot. She goes to Jesus and says just 4 words that shake eternity. They have no wine. These words weren't just a statement. They were a request, a nudge, a prophetic push, a mother telling her divine son, "It's time." Jesus looks at Mary, his eyes carrying the weight of destiny. He replies, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." Not harshly, not disrespectfully, but with holy intentionality. Mary hears his words, but she also hears heaven's heartbeat, because instead of walking away, she turns to the servants and gives one of the greatest commands ever spoken in the Bible. Do whatever he tells you. It was faith, raw, pure, unshakable. Faith that pushed Jesus into his first public miracle. Faith that unlocked glory. Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, each holding 20 to 30 gallons, used for Jewish purification rituals. Ordinary, cold, filled with nothing but water. Jesus looks at the servants and says, "Fill the jars with water." They obey. They fill them to the brim, which requires heavy lifting, hauling, sweating, obedience. Then Jesus says words that defy logic. "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." A miracle, yet unseen. Unseen by the crowd, unseen by the couple, unseen by the disciples. Only the servants knew what was happening, the ones who obeyed without understanding. As they dipped their cups, the impossible happened. Water became wine. Not cheap wine, not ordinary wine, but the best wine ever tasted. The master of the feast takes a sip. His eyebrows shoot up. His face lights with amazement. He calls the groom aside and says, "Everyone brings out the best wine first, and after the guests have had plenty to drink, then the cheaper wine. But you have saved the best for last." What he didn't know was, he wasn't drinking the groom's wine. He was drinking heaven's wine. The first miracle Jesus ever performed was not a healing, not a resurrection, not a deliverance. It was transformation. Why wine? Why a wedding? Why here? Because Jesus came to show us that. He brings joy where joy has run out. He restores what life has embarrassed. He turns emptiness into overflow. He saves the best for last. And he transforms the ordinary into the supernatural. Those stone jars represent us. Ordinary vessels, empty vessels, common and unnoticed. But when Jesus steps in, when we obey his word, when we pour out what we have, he fills us with something better, something richer, something divine. And so, at a simple village wedding, in a moment no one expected, Jesus revealed his glory for the very first time. Not in front of kings, not in front of religious leaders, not in front of thousands, but among ordinary people. Because God always begins in the places we least expect. The Marriage Feast of Cana reminds us, when we invite Jesus into our celebrations, our problems, our relationships, our emptiness, he steps in, he transforms, he restores, he overflows. This is Bible Breakdown, where we bring Bible stories to life through powerful cinematic storytelling. If this message stirred your heart, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the world of Scripture. Because Jesus' first miracle wasn't just about wine. It was a prophecy of what he wants to do in you.